Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Saving the World Together with Luke Macmichael and Martin Rezny. Today, we have a couple of special guests, Francis Otieno and Tahira Amir Khan from Through the Golden Door. Tahira is the Through the Golden Door EcoSocieties founder. So we're going to talk all about the Through the Golden Door EcoSociety today. We have had her on a past podcast. It's great to have her back. And Francis is the president of the Through the Golden Door EcoSocieties Siaya in Kenya. So we're so glad to have both of them on today. Welcome to here. Would you like to just kind of introduce yourself briefly to our viewers?
No, thank you, Luke, and Martin. Good to be here with you guys again. And yes, we talked about the Golden Door vision through the Golden Door at the last time. And we met at the Golden Door Forum. You participated, remember? Or you attended as one of the audience.
Yes.
So through the Golden Door EcoSocieties, actually very interesting. The last time we talked about the generative dialogues and the EcoSocieties birthed from that, actually. It birthed from the panel. And from there, this initiative was formed. The objective really is to create value-based eco-societies, value-based eco-societies, small societies which are not only ecological, but also in terms of the human advancement, getting people living in the societies, in these small communities, to be cohesive, to have values of integrity and transparency and, really unity in diversity. So those value-based eco-societies, and from there, with a strong foundation, to build from there and to become sustainable. So to make it simple, we came up with the 4 core verticals of an eco-society. And of course, there'll be more verticals and solutions. And we looked at what's really essential, which is agriculture, of course, for them to be sustainable in terms of food, creating their own food in the small eco-society. And then secondly is healthy housing, for the protection of the human, long term and disaster resistant. And then the other two, which are sort of very mixed and intermingled with each other, is dealing with the young for education, because they are going to be the pillars for the future. They're going to be the pillars that are going to hold up the society. And the young children, as they grow as adults, to be taught values and to resolve all the trauma. So early childhood education and mental health, physical preparation comes together. Stable children growing up as stable adults. So eco and people being the core segments of a sustainable society. So that's really the essence of this eco societies. And yeah, so this is what it is, and I'm really happy that Francis is one of the pioneering eco societies as we started 2 years ago. And he's been gradually forming it, bringing his leaders, and he will share his vision for it.
Absolutely. So you have, is it about how many eco-societies have you had started so far? Is it
There are
100?
10 eco societies forming. Some are a little, they take time in terms of finding land, some are forming their committees, some have already moved forward. So everybody's got different levels, and it's autonomous.
Mm.
It's don't think of it as a subsidiary. They're not a subsidiary. They're autonomous. We are there to mentor,
Right.
and it's all about empowerment. That's how we've designed. Yes.
So the grand goal is just to kind of get anyone in the world, anywhere, to be able to have a good blueprint to form an intentional community and eco-society where everyone can kind of work together in harmony. Very, very, very much in line with everything we've been doing at Saving the World Together in the last 5 years, just trying to figure out ways to bring people together to save the world in whatever small way they can or whatever big way they can, forming things that are good for the earth, good for the soul, good for people, good for everything, and win-win situations in every way possible. That's what we're always focused on. So it's so great to hear from you. We'd love to definitely help you in any way we can, and hopefully our viewers are excited to get involved in whatever way they can as they learn more. So Francis, tell us about your eco-society specifically. Where are you at? What have been the good parts, the bad parts, the growing pains? What can you kind of teach other people who might be trying to build communities in their own way?
Well, thank you, Luke. Thank you, Tahira. Thank you, Martin, for being in this forum. I'm very much grateful to be here today. My name is Francis Otieno, and I'm a Kenyan. I'm married to one beautiful woman by the name Margaret. I have one daughter who is in college, and I have other three orphans whom I stay with in my home. Um, I'm a pastor of a church, a small church in Eldoret, Kenya, and I'm also involved in doing charitable works, working with the street children, and doing other charitable works in the society, and especially Siaya. My wife and I have a vision, and we formed a group that's called Through the Golden Doors EcoSociety. It's a community-based organization in Siaya, and this organization is formed is a non-political, non-racial, and it exists to create wealth to the people of Siaya. We are involved in doing two things, and one of them is sunflower farming and production. Number two is beekeeping and honey processing. In our mission, we are out to empower farmers in Siaya to sustainable sunflower farming and beekeeping, sourcing from them, and do marketing. Our vision is to be a bridge to foster prosperity for farmers, supply quality sunflower seeds, and to make them do bee farming. So literally, that's what we are doing. And we see this is a game changer to the people of Siaya to take them out of poverty. Many people are living in poverty. Farmers have been taken advantage to by the rich people. My wife looked at this and we saw the pathetic conditions of the people, and he said, something must be done to these people. So we are out there to make their lives better.
That's great. About how many people are involved right now with the?
Yeah, right now, with my committee over here, we have reached out to 100 farmers to start with. That is our pilot project. Later on, as it grows, we are going to reach the entire county of the people of Siaya and the environs of Siaya. Yeah.
So it's kind of like in some ways the farmers all working together, following similar processes, similar.
Yeah, the farmers, each and every farmer is going to work on their own individual farms. They plant their sunflowers. We provide them with quality seeds. And after they plant their sunflower, we, EcoSocieties here, source from them. We buy from them directly. That means we give them a better return. And after doing that, we buy from them. We process the sunflower to become oil. And after it becomes oil, we market it, we sell for them. And each and every farmer gets a bonus from the produce. Their lives become more better. They get the money from planting the seeds, stop processing, they get the bonuses. So it becomes a double income into their lives.
Excellent.
And the beekeeping, we provide them with the beehives. They harvest the honey. We buy directly from them with a good price. We process it, package it, sell it. They get profit. We take them to them bonuses. So each and every farmer works on their individual farms.
Sounds great. It sounds a little bit like some kind of a union where everyone's just kind of working for the same benefit. How would you say it's different from like a normal business or a normal, I guess, union of some kind as far as the eco-society side of it?
Yeah, it's this. You find that many farmers in Kenya, at large, they have been taken advantage of by the rich guys who are brokers of the produces that come from the land. The farmers do their work, and they are given low prices because they don't know where to sell their produce. They don't have a ready market. So we saw it. My wife and I saw the need to come in and to better their lives.
Okay.
So as we come in, the farmers are going to have the confidence because they know where their produce is going. They have a ready market to buy the produce. That gives them confidence to work hard in their farms because they know there's going to be a better return. And as we do so, find that it's something they'll own it because they take their produce and there's a bonus coming from there back to them. So that makes them even work more hard or put more effort into their farming because they know the return is going to be good, and that's going to enable them to take their children to school, put food on their tables, something that has not been done ever before in this society.
Sounds great. What do you think, Martin? Any ideas on how this is how we can kind of spread this more, how we can get it out to more people, or how it's different from a normal business or a normal organization? It's kind of taking the next step to
well I was thinking about the word you use, union. I think the word would be more like a co-op. I think it's the technical term for this kind of, that's a community of people working together to basically to their own mutual benefit kind of thing. But of course, it depends on how that co-op is actually put into practice. Like, it's like everything Francis talked about sounded very relevant to me somehow, because I'm actually from Měrovice nad Hanou, which is in the heart of the main agricultural region in the Czech Republic. It's called Hana, the region that I'm from. And it's actually the best honey I've ever eaten is actually honey that's produced by some friends of my family in my village. So it's really very like the way Francis described it. I can attest, like if you do this kind of thing, like the results are probably going to be, even in terms of quality, better than what you would get from these sort of like mass-produced agricultural things. So it's like one side of it that I can see as benefits. So actually I wanted to start asking about like, so what if I wanted to start something like that, say in the Czech Republic, in like particularly suitable small region or like a village kind of thing? So if you wanted to start it somewhere else in the world, like what would be like the first steps?
I think every region and every area, different countries have got different policies. I think it's good that the people wants to start such a thing. They should look into the government policies and structures concerning maybe agriculture, in which Margaret, my wife, and I did, and went to the government offices and we inquired about them about the registration. And one of the requirements about the registration is that first of all, speak to the farmers, mobilize the farmers, in which we did. My mother, who is about now 70 years old, was very instrumental in mobilizing farmers for me in the village. Brought the farmers together, talked to the farmers the vision and the mission, in which they embraced. After they embraced, they registered. We took their names to the government offices. It was checked into if they are really authentic, if they are the real people on the ground. And through the mechanisms put down by the government, we were registered and accepted to continue with the venture that we want to embark on. So I think in different countries, first of all, is to check with the government what is the policy of the government and about agriculture of such manner in the area.
Right.
That's something Tahira would be able to help with as well from the higher level organization, I suppose, is trying to get other countries or other communities in. What do you think, Tahira? Where do people start if they wanted to do something like this?
Well, first of all, they have to have the passion to build a community, because it is not easy and it's a very long-term thing. It's not just a short project. So you have to be a lover of people, and you have to know what are the pains that the people who live in your community are facing and what needs to be done. Yeah, we need to really understand the pains on the ground, because this is a very grassroots project. It's not political, it's not to create an image, you're working hands-on. So rallying the support from the community and seeing what is needed to build, and to choose people together with you. Starting point, we always say, get 2 to 3 people to come together with you, by who you completely trust, who have the right values, because we're talking about value-based eco-societies.
Mm.
You can have the best technology in the world, you can have all the great solutions, but if the people are corrupt, if the people have a selfish agenda, everything will collapse eventually.
Mm.
We've
Is
seen
it,
that.
yeah, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to say with the co-ops though, and you said it's like non-political type of thing. I think I 100% agree with you because like you can have a co-op, but it could still be like completely broken in terms of the relationships. Like here in Czechoslovakia, what was before it was Czech Republic, was a socialist regime where there technically were co-ops, which on paper people were doing the agricultural for like the mutual benefit. But what really happened was that the state took all the things that they produced, and then basically everybody was still poor in the country. So I really like the emphasis on like you start with actually building the relationship with people who share the values, because I agree 100% with you that that's what's going to determine the actual
Essence of
success
the
of the
eco
initiative.
society is relationships. The essence is not really the eco part. That is what is built on top of it. But it's about relationships which are close and they trust each other. And you will find that when you start any eco society, there will be some people who will leave and fall, will not be aligned. And you keep those who really you trust. And then when it's stable, they will build and grow. Okay? We've seen this section of the world. The world we see at large is a much bigger perspective. The eco society is a very small perspective of the world. We have to keep it, very stable, and then you can build anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Tahira. You have to have a passion and a need, see the need that's on the ground.
Yeah.
When we started this eco society in Siaya, the poverty level is quite high. Many children are not going to school. Some cannot even put food on their table. People pathetic. The lives of people are not good.
Mm.
So we looked and they saw the need. Say, these people's lives must be changed because nobody comes for them. Nobody's there for them. Everybody's on their own. And one of the things that we did before this, as we were planning this and praying about this, in the area where I am in Siaya, there was no water. And with the passion that we had for the people, we dug a well that serves the people in the area. So we have a connect. There must be a connect with the people on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, definitely one of our main focuses with the podcast and with everything that Martin and I have done is really just about connecting people from all around the world and trying to inspire, trying to give a little bit of hope, a little bit of happiness that we can actually do better, that we can make the world a better place, one step at a time, incrementally. The pillars of Protopia, there's 7 of them, but this is very much in line with like the purpose pillar, finding a purpose for ourselves, as well as the poverty pillar, helping people lift themselves out of poverty and creating some kind of businesses and basic incomes of some kind or another in a fair way. So these are very much, like I said, in line with everything on our website, everything we've done as far as just trying to spread it. I think our goal, though, is really to try to make it, I guess, easier for people to get into. Tahira and Francis both mentioned how hard it is, how it takes a lot of passion. And, sometimes that's lacking today, obviously, in many people. They might have 5 minutes to watch a little podcast or a little bit of time to learn a little bit here and there, but they don't have the bandwidth or the time or the energy to get in anything big like this, unfortunately. So I think part of our goal is to try to, if in some way, inspire people to maybe donate if they can't get involved in a bigger way, maybe just learn and spread the message to other people, to try to find people who are willing to put the time in to do something like this. But I guess our goal is really just about trying to spread the hope and joy of people who are doing it, and to just encourage people to do a little bit more, whatever it might be. So what do you think? What do you think a connection might be? Is there any synergies that we can kind of develop together? Is there anything we can kind of learn from each other as organizations, saving the world together, and eco-societies that we can kind of bounce off each other or help each other to grow in some way?
Yeah, I believe that people are a resource. We need each other in ideas, ideologies, encouragement, sharing, because there's something you know that I don't know. There's something I know that you don't know. So when we come together, we can achieve much because knowledge and information is key, not even money or any other thing.
Yeah.
When people share things, you get deeper understanding of issues, and it becomes easy to even to do greater things. So I think we need to encourage each other, come together, share ideas, spread the news, and that's the way to go. We are here for each other. The world has become our village. You may be in Canada, I'm in Kenya, but we need to make people's lives better wherever we are.
Absolutely. I just want to have a simple process where anyone around the world can say, that sounds fun. I'd like to get involved, and, click a button, have something pop up that's simple and easy for them to do. And then they can grow from there. They start small, and then little by little, just like when I met Martin 5 years ago, we were both just getting started in this. And now it's something that's a huge part of our lives that I spend, 10 to 20 hours a week on, just thinking about how do we continue to go. And I enjoy it. It's never work, I guess you could say. If it was too hard or too much of a work, I'd stop doing it. Not getting paid for any of this. If there's no financial incentive, it's really just something that it's a passion and that we just love doing in any small way. It gives us a purpose, gives us something that we can feel good about.
Yeah, maybe
so I think
just to this sort of issue, like of the sharing of the knowledge. So maybe a question then: do you have or do you plan on creating some sort of like a knowledge base on the internet that like people through which people could share information about this type of initiative?
We have created. Yeah, thank you for asking that good question. We have created a sort of a knowledge base, which is you log in. This is for the EcoSocieties. We've been having meetings, short sharing meetings almost every week, sharing bite-sized information. And then we keep a log of it, or the video, or the documents, and all that online. And EcoSocieties, we've made it free to join it, because we believe that anybody should be able to create one, starting with 2 people. Okay, so they trust together and then grow. So no membership, and they just log in, and we have a whole repository of information there, which we've opened up. Guidelines for sustainable agriculture, the basic guidelines, the guidelines of setting up a committee, the roles and responsibilities, some guidelines. We're also creating I like rooster.
Is that a rooster in the background, Francis?
Pardon?
Yeah, I think you have a rooster in your background. Someone's cooking.
Yeah, I have a rooster in the background. It's trying to make some noise. It's outside there, but
Never mind, it's an eco-society, so we need to hear this. So we're also creating tools, and these tools we will make it accessible for the eco-societies, because ultimately, knowledge is power, and mentoring. It's not just knowledge. You need to be mentored, because you can have all the knowledge, but you don't know how to start. There's so much information out there on the internet, but you need some hand holding. So for Francis and the others, when they could come to us every other week, they could, how to start, how to get going. We're not there to do things for them, okay? But they need to do the work, because it's about empowerment, really. Empowerment at decentralization has become the word. Decentralized finance, decentralized leadership, everything is decentralization, because you're going back to the small. As all the smalls start forming, that's when you create big things, because you have to do it small first.
Excellent.
Right. Yeah. And do you have like an address, like where people could go, like, or how would they find it?
We got 2 addresses. One is through thegoldendot.com. And then now we're launching ecosocieties.org also. That's specifically the EcoSociety, but also through Gold. Yeah.
Thanks.
Excellent. We'll definitely have both those addresses in the comments of the video, so check those out. Feel free to, I guess they have an email. They can reach out to you directly to hear if they're interested in getting involved. And
we will do an online form. You can reach out, and if a specific EcoSociety interests you, let's say you're particularly interested in Kenya Siaya, then we will direct you to them.
What's your kind of end goal for this, Tahira? How big do you want to get? Is this something that you think that could kind of take off in some way and save the world, change the world in some major way? That's obviously always the hope of these organizations? What's your personal?
Everything is big anyway. I mean, start from the small. If, for example, if Francis is already learning how to guide his people, big things already going to happen. Because it's just one person guiding his few farmers is going to have a domino effect.
Mm.
So we don't look with the grand vision, of course, we want to create values, a value-based societies. Okay. But you really have to look at one individual at a time.
Mm.
So that is the most important rather than trying to do big things. But we want to create something that's eternal blueprint that will be strong and stable. And along the way, a lot of obstacles we faced.
The word we love is anti-fragile, where it kind of the more hits it takes, the more abuse it takes, it gets stronger. It builds itself up.
Like the word anti-fragility. The word anti-fragility is beyond resilience. Resilience is just being tough during difficult times, but anti-fragility is being able to thrive even in the most difficult times. That that you can still make things happen. Absolutely. That's an anti-fragile. I think there's a based out of a book. I don't know which the title of the book.
Yeah, by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, I think. Either it was in The Black Swan or some other of his books.
Yeah, so if you can be anti-fragile, I think it's also part of Stoicism, some aspect of Stoicism.
But, yeah.
So what Francis is experiencing in learning is anti-fragility, because in such a difficult environment, he's doing something new. And then he's still staying calm, he's still staying strong, and then continuing the process.
Now, I have to ask both of you, I guess, maybe Tahira first and then Francis. What would you say is the biggest, I guess, burnout barriers where you can kind of get into something like this? You can do it for years in some cases, but then, some kind of major problem happens or something kind of burns you out and you just get to the point where you kind of want to drop it and do something different. Have either of you had that point in the past, or how do you combat that? How do you combat the kind of the burnout?
Lance that first, yeah. And then Francis, I'm sure he's got lots of them. For me, I always remind myself, just do a little bit every day. Okay? Just do one small thing a day, and not to have too much expectation. And also, you to be very careful who you bring into the organization, and make sure that they align with the vision in their heart and their mind. They need to be selfless. They need to be thinking about the community. And if you need to make some finances, try to be, make sure that you get the help from your local people also. Mm. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Mm.
Yeah. How do you battle the burnout?
No, people's expectations on the ground is quite high. And especially when you bring a solution, an idea that's going to solve their problems. When the level of poverty is quite high, people's expectations are just high. And sometimes you feel overwhelmed because people come to you and what next? What can we do? And it's just a lot of people want more. Mm. And sometimes you feel, wow, it's overwhelming. But you keep on doing what you can at a time. Okay. One at a time, step by step. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. This is great. So I think any other questions or anything else you'd like to get into, Martin, or Tahira and Francis? If there's anything specific you'd like to dig into deeper. This is a great overview. I think it's great for our viewers to just see.
Thank you for asking that. Yeah, I would like to say those who want to build an eco-society or a new society that's going to solve the problems of your location, always remember that it's ultimately about the people. Okay. And make sure that they understand that you're going to be building for the long term together. It is not going to be about making lots of money to get lots of fame. It's not the material. This is the old world. Okay.
Yeah.
We are trying to create something that will last a long time and will be stable. So make sure that you get people to understand this. This is very, very important. Everything else will sort out, not to worry.
This is it's very much a game B society kind of thing. Have you heard of game A and game B, Tahira? That's another fun thing where game A is the kind of the capitalist game we've been playing for a few thousand years now. Whereas game B is basically where profit is no longer the goal. The goal is about just enjoying life, particularly in a like post-scarcity, post-capitalist society in some way. What are the new goals? What are the new goals of society? And it's really just about, like you said, connections, relationships, just enjoying life, because we're not really, any job that we do, we don't necessarily need to do it for the money. It's think of it like Star Trek, where we all have replicators and holodecks everywhere, and we just have to find purpose, and we have to find something that interests us, something that kind of gives us a reason to get up in the morning and a reason to enjoy life. So that's all the game B stuff is about, making that transition from the capitalist world to the post-capitalist world, and finding ways to make that.
Add to that, that's a very good point. But to add to that, in places like Kenya Siaya, I don't think they be thinking about enjoying life so much. They're concerned more about how do we survive.
Yeah, and that's a great. Obviously, we want to get everyone in the world up to that level.
The
And
thing is that-
it's a bit of a pre-capitalist thing to
So the
sort
thing is
out.
that you look at is redefining abundance. I see some of the things we share is that look at what you have in your society, okay, and how people can pitch in. Look at what you already have. What is existing there? Because abundance comes in many forms. Money is one part of it. Then other is many is multifaceted. You know, like for example, some locations they don't have the land. So look at how you can negotiate with other landowners to make a contribution of the land. So you don't need to buy the land with cash, and you give a percentage of the, if once there is revenue, it might take some time, to the landowner. So we invite them, the eco-societies, to say, okay, bring a settler of a land. You can make them a patron. Okay, don't have to worry about buying the land. Okay, so try to look beyond cash if possible.
Yeah.
Look at barter. Look at exchange.
Yeah,
look at contribution or effort.
Yeah, personally, I put local good honey very high on my list of values, and I feel a lot of abundance if that is available to me, even if I don't happen to have a lot of money. So maybe just a question. I would have like a question for Francis related to this. So in terms of like the sort of what's driving you, like the values, like Tahira mentioned survival, but I imagine like there must be something more than that, and I guess profit is not exactly the thing. So like, what is actually what's driving you and your community in your situation?
What drives me is to see that the values of people's lives are better. That families can take their children to school. That they can get good health care. They don't have to wait for donation from politicians. No, they can do it for themselves. Or want them to feel worth of themselves. They can, because they can work. They have energy. They can work. Want them to feel that they have got value for themselves. Can produce for themselves. Yeah, that makes me happy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Francis, Tahira. It's been great having you. Is there any final comments or any final questions anyone would like to ask before we say goodbye to our viewers for today?
I just want to make one statement. Okay, Africa has always been in a very poverty, suffering continent, but the truth is it is the richest continent on Earth. It is actually the richest continent on Earth. So ultimately, it's about empowerment. They need to go back to themselves to realize that they can make anything happen. And they're not dependent on the outsiders who are just looting their country.
Yeah, they just need to leave them alone for the most part.
They're being looted. So much has been taken away from Africa, and now we want to make sure that they are empowered. They have the knowledge. They can make things happen. We also plan that we're going to teach how to build houses. We're making that plan. They can build themselves, and so paying a lot of money. So
Excellent. Thank you so much. We're so excited for Francis and everything he's doing, and for Africa in general, to just continue to lift their standard of living, lift everything that they're doing there in an eco-conscious way. It's great to be part of it. I know so many people that are excited to hear about these kinds of things every time. It's just very inspiring and makes us feel a little bit better about our day whenever we can kind of connect with someone like this. So thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to our viewers. Anyone, again, who's interested, please check out the link through the Golden Door, EcoSocieties. As well, you can reach out to Martin and myself anytime at savingtheworldtogether.org. And let us know if you want to be a part of any of these initiatives. If you want to learn more, we'd love to be in touch and connect with people. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time, and let's save the world together. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Martin, Luke, and Tahira. Thank you so much.
Bye.